first-person shooter that really changed it all. There was a few other ones in the past that I used to play, on Nintendo 64, like GoldenEye and stuff like that. But Halo was the big game changer. It was standout. You could start to play online. People were a bit more competitive. It had a huge following too. Like there was a lot of people playing it.
MLG used to be fucking insane. I don't even know where to start.
Halo 2, it started so small with MLG, and then it grew to this beast that was just unstoppable.
You'd see the size of the crowds, you'd see how people would respond to teams like Final Boss. The players had kind of their own personalities and they were kind of notorious for different gameplay traits.
Stuff like Twitch TV wasn't really around back then, so being able to watch gameplay of someone was kind of a new thing.
Constantly, they would always hit their team limit, which was, I don't know how many it was, like a couple hundred or something like that. They would always hit their team limit. There'd be reserves upon reserves upon reserves in case someone dropped out. It was awesome.
It was something to be in awe of, and hope that one day, we could always experience something like that. Your primary weapon had switched from an assault rifle / pistol to the BR, the battle rifle, which is arguably, to anyone that's ever played a first-person shooter, is one of the greatest weapons of all time.
It just felt a lot more smoother, and once you learnt the ins and outs of the game, you can definitely see why it became such a competitive title.
One of the other benefits to Halo is that it's a first-person shooter, and that's probably one of the biggest hooking points. There's something about the immersion level, like getting fully amongst it, getting in there.
New Zealand players idolised everything that was MLG and wanted nothing more for their community to grow into something like it. Players started taking things more seriously by implementing better communication and strategy into their gameplay, as well as pushing tournament organisers to be more like MLG. The biggest change was the tournament format from 2vs2 to 4vs4.
I think 4v4 was key because it was different.
Halo's, at its core components, a 4v4 arena shooter, so 4 players acting as Spartans against 4 players acting as Spartans. Halo 2 inherently felt like a 4v4 game. It didn't feel like it was supposed to be smaller because the maps were too large, and it didn't feel like it was supposed to be bigger because it was too uncontrollable.
4v4 has required a lot more skill. Why? Because you've got 3 other teammates, and when you're playing with 3 other people to try and amount a victory, everyone has to be on the same page.
There was so much variation in every game. There was 4 people doing different stuff. You could play one game with the same team, next game you get smashed, and it made no sense as to what you'd done differently or how you played. It just added variability, which made the game more fun.
Everyone has to be feeling good. Everyone has to be on the same page. Everyone has to use communication.
If you call someone out, as soon as you see them, your teammates can react as soon as you've entered the battle, and if they can react as soon as you've entered the battle, then they can help team shoot, and you'll definitely kill that player if you've got 2 guns on them.
What separates good communication and bad communication is the ability to listen to each other. It's fundamental that, you know, you're not just constantly blurting out stuff, but you're actually picking up on the stuff that other people are saying as well. And yeah, you only add in what you feel is really necessary.
It was quite interesting to see how different 4v4 teams played, how each role was vast in like capture the flag, oddball, team slayers. It was very interesting. And team slayers, of course, you just kill.
Oddball was actually one of my favourite game types in Halo. Purely it was a skull, but they called it oddball because you hold a ball, or you hold the skull in this case, through a game for 5 minutes. With that, it was one of the really competitive ones, and it put your team down one person consistently to hold the ball and to win the game.
So you needed to really put yourself in the position that you could benefit your team and that you were safe and that your friends could protect you as well as be able to switch.
Capture the flag was one of the key game types. Most maps were about 3 captures and you won. It was in the other team's base and you had to pull the flag, get it across the map without getting shot, killed, or them returning it.
Flag capture.
So the dynamics of 4v4s became very vast, and there was no right or wrong, you know, when it came to 4v4s. It was just, what can you do to better the position of your team?
For me, it was kind of like playing paintball with your mates over the weekend.
It's crazy how good 4v4 was with the depth, all the different play styles. It just mixed it all together and created something that was standout as a game.
The WCG skill level traction we all once knew was long gone. He stopped competing seriously once 4v4s were introduced. The social aspect of clans is what he was attracted to, and he was still part of the aim away from FaZe clan, which was now reduced to just Traction, T-Touch, Woodpal, Say Cheese, and Pablo D. They played fours casually together and were still an active part of the community where they would attend whatever tournaments they could as a team. Traction became less known for his success in Halo CE and now more known for his humour and antics.
Slow down so I can rocket someone. Hurry up! Get this thing going! Slow down so I can rocket someone. 5 minutes remaining. Holy shit, man. Who the hell were you drive? We should have... Dude, you stopped in front of the lamppost!
I'm making cheese for my nachos! Wow,
Oh, the assassination!
I got my gaming tag jam bun from school. I was eating a jam bun and one of my mates was like, oh, that looks like a pretty mean jam bun, bro. And when I was making the gaming tag, it somehow stuck in my mind, so I just went with it because it was a bit unique.
Prodigy, or it started off as Prodigy and it evolved into Prod. I just got it from the band. I liked the band at the time.
Smack my bitch up!
And I guess I liked the meaning of what the Prodigy is, and I just took that and went with it.
My name is Simon, mixed up as Nismo, so I rearranged the letters pretty much, tried to think of something cool. That was the easiest thing that came to mind. I kind of like skylines at the time too. So combination of that, the first one I had was NZL, Nismo NZL, so obviously tried to rep New Zealand like a lot of the crew did. After that, a lot of the boys called me Nizzy, and from then kind of changed into Nizzy from Nismo. So that was how the name came about, bit of a mix of letters, words, names.
For 4v4 to work well, the game needed to run smoothly, but Halo 2 wasn't a perfect game. The developers of the game ran into issues late during the development cycle, meaning the game was rushed towards the end, and thus resulted in a few defects within the game.
Halo 2 had a major fuck up in that there were just too many glitches that they couldn't fix at a later stage. They couldn't release content to try and get rid of that problem, so these things stayed in the game, and essentially what BXB is,
Glitches, BXB.
Reloading now cancelled melee animations, allowing a melee, reload, melee combination to be used to mimic the double melee glitch in CE. Granted, this double melee was not as fast, it still allowed for a faster kill than standard back-to-back melees could. This glitch received the name BXB, as on standard control schemes, the B button was to melee and X was to reload.
I always throw nades because I don't expect you to live, and then you pull off some fluke and I'm like, oh shit. It's not a fluke, man. Most of the time it's like, I just own those suckers, man. You underestimate my skill, man. I mean, most of the time you get your host thought out and go bang. Now, people can't handle, I'll tell you what I do, man. I beat them down, and then I circle, I do this little tight circle around them, and they just, what's going on? I just beat them down again, and you know, BXB, it's all over. It's all over, man. And they're like, what the? They're like, what the? And then they die. And then I get naded. Oh my god. Nigga, can you listen to this shit? Oh man.
With the complexity of competing in a 4vs4 format, the community were playing more than ever in an attempt to adapt to the new challenge of it. After a while, it became evident that some players were thriving in this new environment, while others were failing to transition well. Naturally, players would seek others of similar skill, knowledge and attitude to team with. Once a new team had formed, they would do everything they could to improve as a unit. Some players and teams focused on important elements, while others got lost or overwhelmed.
You know what, Curtis? Wacker blames me for losing at BBS. Or, like, not coming third or some shit, losing some of our games. And he's taken me off his friends list. But I watched his screen heaps. I mean, even though he's boxer, he's pretty fucking shit at melee. He does real weird shit. He'll sort of run, throw a grenade at a wall that'll almost hit him. And he'll, like, aim at the ground real quick, because he's got a sensitivity on 10, throw a nade.
Right in the middle, you were from P-side.
Put this one down there, Kambo, you don't need to run into my name.
Holy shit, if I get assassinated, fucking...
Gain the lead.
Beat down by someone.
With the game rapidly changing, the days of casual competition were beginning to dissolve. There were less and less interactions between large online groups of players called clans. Clans were adopted from early PC games and were a way people could come together and have friendly competition before any serious competitive settings were determined within the community. The Vang was like any other clan amongst the New Zealand scene. They started at the bottom and slowly began to rise through the ranks as some of the younger players in the scene joined and boosted their activity and overall skill level. This allowed them to take the #1 spot on top of the Xbox Live NZ clan leaderboards and maintain it longer than any other clan before them. The social aspect of clans were more important than anything else. With the friendships formed, they acted as a foundation to some of the best teams and biggest rivalries New Zealand would ever see.
Look, bad guys everywhere. Oh, fuck. Yeah.
Double kill.
Oh, fuck. Oh, shit. What the fucking awesome, man. Oh my god.
Guy on the side. Do you have a guy on the side now?
Go. Look at me, what's the power?
10 seconds remaining. Play ball.
Oh no, I'm scared. No. Fucker, I can't assassinate him. What the hell? What the fuck? What the fuck? Oh, we got the flag, we got the flag.
Coming here.
5 now remaining. Flag returned. Game over. Flag captured.
The Vang then split into two 4v4 teams, G2 and Pointblank. The three from Wanganui, Kurtiz, Kuran and Kambo, acted as the foundation to G2 as their time spent together in person gave them natural teamwork and good cohesion. Ripzster wasn't quite meshing well after a few nights practice, so G2 picked up Zeth in his place, who had more experience with the squad and slightly better slaying skill.
We didn't have enough just raw slaying power. It's not that any of us were bad, it's just some players really focus on that part of the game, and you definitely need those players in a team, because if you can't get kills effectively against other good players, then you're going to die more often and you can't do anything when you're dead. So Zeth definitely helped us.
You chuck him in a room and he kills everything. So basically, I'd say that if anything, our playstyle's adapted to change to suit his.
Get in position, guys. Ah! Get in position, guys. You're done.
He's just fucking. In the box, bring one.
Pointblank originally was myself, Dobo, Nismo and Prodigy. And then I think along the way, Dobo dipped out.
I didn't actually stay in the team for that long at all. I didn't have my own Xbox, I couldn't afford the internet.
G2 got rid of Ripzster for Zeth, and then Ripzster came over to Pointblank and joined with us. Vu slotted in nicely into Pointblank, who were also a team of 3 former Vang members. They had played together a lot and were looking very promising with the leadership of Nismo, slaying of Prodigy and support of William. The first 4v4 tournament was scheduled for August 12th, 2006. And with only 2 months to prepare, many had trouble adjusting to the more tactical gameplay required in 4vs4. The art of communication and multi-person strategy were new concepts to players, and each took different approaches to the challenge. This caused teams to have rocky starts as they figured out which combination of players worked and which didn't. Disappointingly, Lungbutter quit, leaving Bob to start from scratch. Without much hope, he got a few mates together last minute to compete.
So it ended up happening that I was just sort of having a laugh with some cool friends. They're actually pretty good at the game too. Like, not great, just did it casually.
BBS 7 was the first 4v4 LAN in New Zealand, and that was crazy. It was humongous. So many people were really excited to play 4v4s. Atmosphere was good because a lot of the people knew each other now, where before it was a little bit awkward and unsure, but now we'd been to a few LANs and we knew what it was like, and we knew who was going to be there. A few new faces that we were excited to meet. So yeah, atmosphere was definitely cool. It was just meeting up with an insane amount of friends at once.
The lineup we had going into that was Nismo, Vu, William and myself.
We were pretty confident going into this LAN. We'd been practicing heaps. We had our teamwork pretty down compared to everyone else. I expected to do really well. Like, I was feeling really good. I felt like I was in my prime. I didn't think I could get really that much better. And I had Zeth on my team, and just knowing that me and him together were on the same team, I was like, damn man, everyone else is going to have trouble beating us.
Halo uses a tournament format called double elimination, where teams have 2 lives instead of 1, meaning they have to lose or be eliminated twice. All competitors start in the winner bracket, and teams that lose get knocked down into the loser bracket, where they play against the other teams that have lost once. Losing in the loser bracket means you are eliminated from the tournament. The winner of the loser bracket is put in the grand finals to face the winner of the winner bracket, who will have the upper hand as they will have 2 lives versus the loser bracket winner's 1 life. This style significantly increases the accuracy of results as the effects of chance, bad luck, and uneven matchups are mitigated when teams have a second chance.
Sit down. Take a seat. Take a seat, you're shit. Oh, what's this like? Oh, fuck! You stuck me from the face. 2 on their base, 2 on their base. On their flag. Behind you, behind you. He's got sword as well. Sword snipes down, front of the base. Front down low. He's in their bond. Whoa, what the fuck? What the fuck? Oh, bounce by accident. What the? Oh, you're disqualified. Yeah, no, that was so accident. It's down. I've got people behind you, so go hard. Go, move it, 40, go. Back up, one shot. PP. Yeah? Could just want me to bring it to him. Yeah, that's right. Right behind you with sword, keep going. Keep going, Kurtiz, keep going. Oh, double shot. Keep going. Right behind you with sword. We're scoring this. Done. Now sit up again and make sure they don't score. That's game over. End it. I like getting asked to leave before I get food about it. Yep, sweet.
Oh, load. Oh my god, load. 3 load. Oh, yeah, no. Whatever that is. Dick. Oh, yeah, back dick on offside.
Awesome back in load.
Load shotgun. Also, we back it up. What am I?
What am I getting hit from? Shotgun side. Okay, I got it. He's in rocket. I'm gonna try and get it. Oh, yeah, I'll go. Yeah, hurry up. Now you get it.
What the?
I'll spawn try to get out.
Oh!
I got 6 snaps. Oh, he's on. Yeah, swords down at the top of the thing. I got OS is 721. Nice. Slap somebody, pick up hard. Nice. Pick a hard down.
Wait, 2 top shotgun, I need help.
Yep.
Yep, back up,
Jump,
back
back
up.
up. Double.
See, Ross carries on every time.
Oh.
We ended up in the semi-finals, and we ended up versing Pointblank. So this is another really good friend of mine, and they definitely thought they were going to go through and win the whole thing.
Game over.
We actually beat them. It was close, but we beat them, and they were just so distraught. I think there might have been a few tears in the group just because they're like, oh my god, how can I lose to guys who are just playing casually, just here for a laugh.
They had 2 or 3 players that were pretty good, but as a team of 4, we didn't think too much of them. And when we lost to them in the loser bracket final, it was quite disheartening.
We were expecting at least top 2, at least being in that final. And it was definitely an eye-opener as to how LAN differs from online play.
They just managed to exploit, I guess, some of the problems that we had as a team and how we didn't follow through with support sometimes or make the right pushes at the time. So Weables went on to beat us in that series and play lateral in the final.
No shield in the middle. I like spawning all bottom.
One smoke crowd 2.
Come out. Oh god.
Oh god. Alright!
Fuck, there's a lot of them no shield there.
Yep.
3 dead, but 1
P1, yeah, one shot P1, one shot P1. Kambo, look at
top couch.
Stuck me.
Top couch.
Sword around.
Whoa.
Double. Oh, double. What up, bitch? What up? MVP. 2 running rides. Might as well just drop it and kill them.
Also, we'll start to train each other and have some teaming.
Whoa, that's a lot of guys. Oh, these are...
Beat me down. Cutting everyone, man.
Beat him down.
Yep, 2 triples, 2 running right.
Man, I did real bad. I wasn't really playing. I wasn't even playing. Yeah, I turned off my TV. Me neither. Oh,
coming 1-3. Holy crap.
51 kills. Oh, I still on. Yeah, good games.
After 116, I'm pretty happy with that.
After a game, players look at their statistics or stats for the game. These are bits of information about every player to show how many kills and deaths they got, how many points they scored for the team, and other things of interest. The main stat talked about is a player's kill to death ratio, as this is a reflection of how good they are at beating other players. This is usually referred to as kills for deaths. For example, in this game Zeth went 51 for 16, which is a very high ratio, meaning he was a very effective slayer in this game. Assists are also important, as these are how many times you helped an ally win a battle. You can see in this game that Kambo had the highest assist to kill ratio, meaning most of his time was spent helping others get kills rather than getting kills himself.
The finals we lost that one, just because we were just there for a bit of fun. So that was when I definitely started to not play as many games, but I was still there in the scene playing and doing as well as some of the better players.
The main reason for us losing then was us being affected quite a bit by all the shit talking coming from particularly Bob and Ripzster and Rockford and the team that ended up placing second. You know, we kind of, as soon as we started going bad, we kind of just downward spiral rather than pick ourselves up.
G2 won the competition without much of a threat from the other teams. Their rival team Pointblank got knocked out early by Bob's throw together team. It was clear that more time was needed to adjust to 4vs4. Kurtiz, Kuran and Kambo's teamwork was unmatched, and in combination with Zeth's slaying meant that winning the finals against Bob's team was easy.
So the first 4v4 competition that we had of Halo 2 in our country, and we won. And we got beating the Weables, which had Bob in it at the time, and Pointblank.
We were on a high. It was amazing. We made a new team and won the first event ever in 4v4 format in New Zealand.
Nobody can take that away. That's one of those things that will always stay there.
Ultimately, we were pretty angry, pretty gutted as a team. And soon after that tournament, we actually dropped Will, seeing that he wasn't quite up to scratch at the time.
Overall, it was pretty crap getting dropped from the team, and then they picked up Lightning in place of me, and I can confirm that that was only because he had a 512 kilobyte upload to host scrims online. So Mike, you're not good, you suck.
Me and Zeth kind of let our ego get the better of us.
What's my name?
It's a massive advantage, and it creates a huge skill gap between you and other people if they're not able to do it.
That was probably the biggest LAN that New Zealand's had.
You know, it's sort of testament to the sort of lengths that we went to sort of compete.
He was one of those players that would bring something dynamic and different to the team.
Even though we had already been to a few, it was still really exciting going to the next one.
We could have a yarn, but also have fun and be competitive at the game.
It was the first competitive tournament, I had no idea what to expect.
Everyone was, I guess, frothing at the mouth, and they were out for blood.